Howdy folks, it's Hoops here, and we've got another great video for you guys today. It's a outdoor adventure catch and cook. So the purpose of this video was we wanted to take the boys out and show them a place where I grew up swimming. It's called Oakley Dam. So Oakley Dam is a water catchment area, and it's an absolutely beautiful spot. And like I said, I've been swimming there ever since I was a kid. So if you want to go check out Oakley Dam, yeah, it's definitely worth going to check it out. It's off Scarp Road, up the hills of Dwellingup, so definitely worth it. So the purpose of this video today is we're going to do a catch and cook. We're going to go down and head in and see if we can find ourselves a feed of freshwater mussels. And we're also going to use products from our garden. There's going to be a couple products more than likely that we're going to need to buy, but other than that, 90% of this catch and cook is all from the garden and from the dam, the Oakley Dam. So I hope you guys like this video. If you like catch and cooks, if you like the outdoor adventures, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll roll the intro and we'll see you guys as soon as we get back.
Welcome to Hooper's Mayhem. If that's your wish, you will see him try very hard to catch important fish. He will swing a detector around and round. He will find all kinds of treasures on the ground. He loves the caves, he loves the things, he loves just doing everything. To runs and smoking meat, he's a meat smoker that can't be beat. It's Hooper's Mayhem, Hooper's Mayhem, lots of mayhem, really mayhem, a mayhem, Hooper's Mayhem. Oh, won't you you subscribe, just subscribe, please, I just want someone to subscribe. All my family have subscribed, and I need someone I don't know who'll subscribe. Subscribe. Love it. Subscribe.
Alright, so this is Oakley Dam, in case anyone's wondering where we are. Beautiful little swimming hole. Come here ever since I was a kid. It's always been freezing cold, but we will have a swim after. And I don't even know what the water's for, but this is when it overflows, goes down the mountain here, and then yeah, there's a old walk track that used to go around the back here. And also you can get over to this rock wall over here, but you've got to trek it up through the bush and around. I'll go swimming. Get out. Was that 2?
Oh, I got another one.
2? 3? Just found one. Oh no, I lost it. Yeah, I lost it. Oh, no, there we go. Alright.
Found another
There
one.
we go. Yeah, I've got a leech. Oh, look at them all. Look.
Dad.
Ready?
Oh, look at me bleeding.
Oh, I fell in the mud.
Another one.
Oh,
I'm the one that found all of them.
yeah, I found a little one.
Found another one.
Cool. Keep them coming. The more we can get, the better. Right. So, in the water here, if we look nice and close and be nice and still, yeah. Look, freshwater mussels. Heaps of them.
Pocket is completely full.
Yeah, same as mine. I got a full pocket. There's some really big buggers right there, which I wanted to get.
Dad, look. Number 3.
Yeah, I can see like 7 or 8 just here. 1, 2.
You just catching mussels.
Yeah. Ow. Hope. Alrighty guys, it's the next day, so I did promise this to be a catch and cook. So what we're going to do is these mussels here have been soaking in some nice clean water, but they're really muddy, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is just have the water running, get the scourer, give them a good scrub and put them straight into a container there with some cold water, and then once this is full, we're going to boil these up. So we'll get on with cleaning these now. Right, there we go. So this is all of them done. So we actually come up with 100 mussels, and there's some absolute monsters in there too. That's a big mussel. Nice big freshwater mussel. So that cleaning idea is just to get most of the gunk off, so when they do open up, it doesn't really contaminate the thing. And I've changed this water about 3 or 4 times now. It probably may end up doing it one more time before it goes on the boil. But yeah, what we do is we'll probably just add a tiny bit of salt to this. That's about it. And then boil it until all these mussels actually open up. So they should open up just like any old shellfish, like a clam. They'll open up, and that means usually when they're ready to cook. So yeah, we'll get these on the go in a minute, and tell you exactly what we're cooking in a minute too. Rightio, here we go. So they've been boiling for quite some time now. You can see they've all the big shells have opened up now. That's what we want. We've got some of them that are actually floating in the juices, which is good, like this piece here. You can see there. It's steamy, but yeah, that's a nice, clean, fresh mussel. So that's going to be awesome. So all I'm going to do now is basically strain all the water out, and then we're going to set the let them cool off, and then I'll get all the mussels. I'll shuck them all, and then I'll show you the next step. But I'm going to explain to you now what I'm actually going to cook. Rightio. So yeah, that was, like I said, was a catch and cook. But what we're going to do is we're going to continue on, and with all these mussels, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and gather some tomatoes and fresh ingredients like some herbs and spices and spring onions, garlic chives, all those sorts of things from out of the garden. And what we're going to do is kind of like spaghetti bog, linguine, all those kinds of pasta-y kind of dishes. What I'm going to do is cook up the tomatoes, the onions, all the chives and different herbs and spices, and throw in the mussels, so the mussels absorb into the flavour. They'll soften right up and break down, and then we're going to cook up some pasta and add the pasta in, a bit of cheese, bit of salt and pepper, and it's going to be beautiful. So basically, same way you would do a spaghetti bog with the mince and all your onions and all your sauces and things like that, and then later on you add your pasta in. But instead of using the mince today, we're going to use mussels, and we'll add a little bit of chilli too. That's always a great one. Or we might add the hot sauce to it after, because maybe Jackie might not want the chilli. But anyway, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. So stick around, we'll quickly smash out a meal and show you guys that, and then we'll wrap the video up. But yeah, hope you guys, if you want to follow along, you can. So if you want to do this recipe, go for it. I guarantee you it's going to be beautiful. We've done this plenty of times in the past. Never done it with freshwater mussels. Always been the ocean caught one. So we'll see how they go. Rightio, so we're in the garden, and we've got a massive big tomato bush that's popped up here, and there's quite a few ripe ones on there. I've already picked a whole heap of different tomatoes from around the yard, some chilies, and we've got tons of spring onion, tons of chives. These are all garlic chives, and they're literally everywhere in here. What else have we got we can probably use? I've got some beetroots growing, but we're not going to use those. What else we got? We've got kale. I'm not going to use that either. There's some more different kale. More spring onions. There should be garlic in here somewhere too, but we can't use that because of Jackie. But we do have, see, there's some more different type of chive there again. But yeah, we'll just do main ones. We've got parsley and all that as well, which we'll go and pick. But we'll get some more of these nice tomatoes. Probably a couple more there. Probably leave them for a bit longer. That one's good. And that one. No, that one's gone. Yeah, a couple back there as well. Alright, that's that. We will cut ourselves yeah, alright. Okay. Get us some of these. We've got some Asian chilies. We don't want them because they're friggin' hot. Spicy hot. These will be a later garnish. I always just chop them off instead of pulling the whole plant out, so then it just reshoots. And I think it always tastes fine when it does that. So I think we've got everything there. We'll chop that up. That can be, I'll do a little bit more spring onion. Alright, we'll go get some parsley now. This is where all my chilies live, so I've got different types of chilies here. You've got Carolina Reaper, which have started to pop up a few. There's one that's ready. And that's when they start to change colour. Got the ghost chilies. different type of reapers, butcher lockers. These are all jalapenos, but I've harvested them all. There's one little one growing right there. There's nothing really else that I can use in here. Frangipanis. Some more. There's actually we've got some of these. We could probably use up some of those, which we'll get that one. There's only tiny little. These are called candy cane capsicums. So they're not a very big variety of capsicum. So we'll take a couple of those, chop them up. Bugger it, we'll take all of them. We're getting quite a supply now. And there's another. That's a capsicum. That's a California Wonder. The tomatoes coming up but not ready. Got heaps of chilies growing, and all these ones are ready. I'll pick them because they're red, but I don't know if I'll use them. Paprika, cayenne, and then these ones are actually ready too. That's how they come, green chilies, good. Got some potatoes, they'll be ready soon. My parsley here is dead. There is another one out the front. More different types of chives here. I'll sprig 2 of those. I'm pretty sure these are the basil, so we might grab a few sprigs of the basil. And I've got another basil out there too. And we'll just pinch a bit off him. Alright, a bit more variety of mint, basil, sorry. So there's these different coloured ones, and I can't remember. I'm pretty sure that's like the sweet basil. It's your common one just here, the glossier leaves. And I think this is like a lemon basil. So we'll take a few sprigs of that one. That's going to give it a nice flavour to that earthy flavour of the mussels, which will be good to get rid of that flavour because it's not exactly a nice taste. We've got oregano here as well, so we'll take a few sprigs of that. That's sage, but we're not cooking with sage. Okay, what else? Got rosemary here too. And give it a bit of flavour as well. So we just take a tiny bit of that. You don't want too much rosemary. There's plenty. And that smells amazing in there, right? And the only other thing I've got left is parsley, which is out the front. Alright, there we go. A bit of a sad one, but she's still got some good leaves on it. That's all our parsley. I'll just take a few sprigs. There's a couple more. Like that. Like I said, we want to, if anything, it's to kill that earthy flavour of the mussels, so that should be good. Right, here we go. These are all the ingredients we've got from the garden. Starting with, we've got the chives, the garlic chives. We've got a few of them, which we'll add to the sauce. We've got the garnish, which is our spring onions and some parsley, with a little bit of parsley, and the rest we'll chop up. We've got some oregano, which is quite a nice flavour. We've got a bit of rosemary, has a tiny little bit of rosemary. We've got the parsley, like I said, which we'll chop up finally and put in with the sauce as well as a garnish. We've got the basil, which will get chopped up and put in the sauce as well. We've got some, we're not going to use these are Carolina Reapers, but if I use them I'll be sleeping outside, so absolutely will not be using those. But we do have some nice paprika and red chilies, so we might chop up a little tiny bit of that in there. We've got our the candy cane capsicums, which are really cool little capsicums, little peppers. We've got tons of our, I'm not sure exactly the globe tomatoes, or I'm not sure exactly what they are, but they're absolutely beautiful eating, like cherry tomatoes, but not quite. And then these are all old ones that I picked the other day. I'm not too worried because, yeah, that's going to mash up and make our sauce anyway, which is perfect. So all of that, combination of that, and everything else you see here on the table make our nice sauce, and then we add the mussels in. So let's get cracking. Righto. So that was pretty messy, but that's pretty much it. That's the base of our sauce now. So I'm just going to simmer this down, break it right down into a sauce, add a little bit of water, maybe a bit of stock, and then pretty much just make it sauce, and then dump all our mussels in there and simmer it for quite a long time. And that's it, pretty much. We'll add it to the pasta, but we'll come back after I've finished making this into a sauce. Right, out of all 100 mussels have been shucked. And you can see there's some absolute monsters in there. Some of these mussels are huge. So I'm not sure if I'm going to chop these up. I might chop them up just a little bit, so that way they will break down in the sauce, but I'll also show you how the sauce is looking. Okay, there we go. So the sauce is looking pretty good. It's starting to break down now. So all I'm going to do is I've turned it right down onto low, and I'm going to just leave that to simmer. But what I'm going to do quickly is, like I said, chop up those mussels, throw them in here, and then you should have that nice sauce and that flavour. But before I put the mussels in, I'm going to give it a good mash, so we've got it all broken down. But yeah, I'll simmer this for probably quite some time just to break that down into a sauce. Rightio, last little bit of it. There's the sauce. I've mashed it up, and we got here is our mussels, and I tell you what, this was not pretty. Once you chop that up, all that I don't know what you'd call it, the earthiness of the mussels, where the habitat is, was all through the meat. So I basically had to chop it all up and put it through a sieve. But now it's good. So what I'm going to do is just dump all of this in here. Juices and all by the looks of it. Give that a good stir up, and then we'll pop the lid back on and just let it cook for hours. Right, here we go. It's been cooking now for a few hours. It's broken right down now, which is great. I've made an absolute mess. But anyway, the only thing I have added, you probably see I've got some red onion, and they're from the garden as well. So I put a fair bit of red onion in there. Salt and pepper to taste. I added barbecue sauce because I like my spaghetti bolognese to be a bit on the barbecue side of things. I always add barbecue sauce to my dishes for that sort of stuff. And the only other thing is one more can. I actually it needed a bit more juice to it, so I added up 1 can of diced tomato. So that added up and got quite a good consistency now. And as you can see, it's doing. So once these onions are broken down a bit more, then that's pretty much cooked. But what we're gonna do is just simmer it a lot. I have tasted it's pretty nice. The mussels are a tiny bit chewy, but it's not so bad. And the other thing I've done is put the pasta on for it as well. So we've got some pasta going, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So pasta, when that's ready, basically add some cheese in it, and yeah, a bit of salt and pepper to taste, should be done. Alrighty guys, here we go. So I've cooked up some pasta, it's cooked perfect. Here's our nice Bolognese now. It's a bit, got the chilli and all the rest of the different flavours. So that mussel is cooked right down now, which just should be nice and tender. Been cooking for hours, and it does actually smell really nice. So all I got to do now is give it a bit of a dish up, and we've got cheese as well. So just chuck a few pieces on. I can't eat much, so I'm just going to go with a small amount for now. Oh, it smells freaking beautiful. And plenty of that mussel in there. Okay. Now we've got the cheese. And we are just going to top it off with a bit of cheese. I like my cheese, so make sure we get that. It gives it some real nice flavour, the old cheese does. Right, there we go. One more little touch of stuff. Right, last touch, bit of white Himalayan salt. And the last one, bit of black pepper. That's it. Give it a taste test. Rightio, here we go. Bon appetit. Let's give it a go. Get a bit of everything. I'm sure we got some mussel in there, a bit of cheese, some salt and pepper. One more bit. Whoa. There's just so much flavour going in there. It's absolutely beautiful. The mussels are a tiny bit rubbery, but you don't know. It just tastes. You get that meat flavour, which is spot on. I actually really like that. So I'm going to sit down, eat the whole lot. So yeah, that was it. Catching mussels, freshwater mussels, creating a meal, especially using pretty much all the ingredients out of the garden, other than a few different things, the pasta and the cheese. But most of the veggies and all the herbs and spices that went in it, all from the garden. And yeah, took the kids freshwater mussel collecting, and we ended up getting a bunch of them. So yeah, if you like that recipe, let us know in the comments. If you would like to subscribe, that would be amazing. Thanks very much for all the ones that have subscribed. But yeah, that'll do us for now. See you guys on the next one. Peace out. Stay moist.